some of my friends have been reaching out to me and they've been wanting to know how is it that you're able to publish a book in 4 days? Because I made some social media posts and I shared how I am going to challenge myself to publish a book in the next 3 days. And while I did not reach it in 3 days, I was able to get my book published in 4 days. And so today, as I've been getting a lot of requests, people want to know, how do I publish a book? I've got a book in me. I know that this is something that I've been working on for a long time, and there's been several people reaching out to me asking, how could I publish a book? Can you share with me some of the tips that you found? And I just want to record this video to answer some questions. I know that one of the last books that I published, this is I Want to Mentor Now What I Do. This also, I was able to publish this book in 2 weeks, and then got it to #1 bestseller on Amazon and business consulting. But recently, the latest book that I have is it's the book on high-ticket health coaching. As you can see it on the screen, I was able to finally be able to get this published. It wasn't day 3, it was day 4, and I was really excited to see it out there, where we've got it, it's ready, and that was a challenge that we had. Now, some people, like the reason why I chose the book on high-ticket health coaching is because I've got a really big, strong passion for helping those who have a health message, who are health experts, who have a life-saving methodology that's able to improve people's health, to be able to get that to the masses. You see, I had a heart attack when I was 12 years old. I was eating the standard American diet, and you see, like, there's a photo of me when I was 12, and I was the second fattest kid of an elementary school of about 1,000 students. I didn't drink much water. I drank a lot of orange juice, tons of soda, ate donuts, and ate whenever I was tired, when I was not, when I had some health challenges. And people said that, oh, yes, like when I was over at like these community meals and I'd be coming back for seconds or thirds, they're like, oh, he's a growing boy, he needs more food. And I wasn't growing up, I was growing out, until eventually it started to get out of hand. And as I had a heart attack, they rushed me to the hospital, and they did my blood work and found out that I was high cholesterol, I was high blood pressure, I was borderline diabetic. I already knew I was morbidly obese and severely depressed, but I was at 12 years old faced with a decision. I imagined myself kind of like walking towards a precipice with one foot off, and I was about to take that leap, and my life may never be the same again. And since then, I have learned that type 2 diabetes can be reversed. In fact, I have the privilege of coaching some diabetic coaches to help them to get their message out. But at age 12, I'm like, I don't even know how to change or what to do, and I started seeking for answers. And then my mom started pulling some books off the shelf, and she was saying, you know, there are some doctors who have showed that some of these 8 laws, these 8 principles of health, and one of them that she went to, it was a guy named Hans Deal, who put together this CHIP program, Complete Health Improvement Program, and she's gone through some of his books. She's gone through his program, helped totally transform her way of understanding how the body works and disease, its cause, prevention, and cure. And as she's sharing with me these health books, I'm like, this is amazing. And following the principles that I learned, I was able to lose 50 pounds in 3 months. And I never put it back on again. And I was no longer diabetic, no longer high cholesterol, no longer high blood pressure. And I've never been in any of going in those directions ever since. I was 12 and I started taking an interest in health. And wow, that is quite the story, to have a heart attack at age 12 and to lose that weight and start feeling great. And so I started to share my story with more people. And I started getting invited to share my weight loss journey at different events and places that I would speak at. And I started speaking when I was 17 and traveling around the nation, sharing different health principles. And because of my fascination with digital marketing, also since I was 12, and signing up for the Smart Passive Income by Pat Flynn, and just getting those newsletters and realizing how digital marketing works. And then I started consulting with nonprofits and health educators in this digital marketing skill set that I have. And as I've been doing that for the last 10 years or so, this book, this the book on high ticket health coaching is kind of like a culmination or a condensed version of some of the principles that I've learned in health marketing, and principles that I've observed of things that have worked well for health experts. And I like condensed it all in a book because I really believe that just like there was one man with the health message who learned how to market and package and monetize his health knowledge that was literally able to save my life, I believe that many of you health experts, many of you who have a health message, a health knowledge, who have the ability to actually save people's lives when you learn how to get your message out to those who you're called to serve. So I put together this book to make it easier for you and to be able to support those who are helping others in their health. And one of the questions that I get in this, when I talk about this new book is, but why publish in just 4 days? Why not take your lots of time on it and writing it and thinking real through about it? And believe me, I've thought real through about it. But some of the reasons is because I realize in life there's a lot of value in setting ambitious goals. Fuzzy targets don't get hit. And I find that when we have goals, not just any goals, but big goals, ambitious goals, then there is value in becoming a person who's able to set your mark high, aim high, and reach high. And it's kind of like climbing a mountain. I find that by setting ambitious goals, we're able to become the person who has a big vision and reaches that big vision. I know my sister invited me to go to Half Dome and to climb the peak of Half Dome over in Yosemite National Park. And I was like, wow, that's quite the ambitious goal. And if you notice the little black dots in the center of Half Dome, just above the two ladies' heads in the middle, those little black dots are people. Those are people, literally, you're scaling the side of this granite wall as you're climbing up this peak, and it's 8,800 feet. And it's quite the ambitious goal. I mean, we left before the sun came up, and we were still descending the climb while the sun was setting. So we were out there hiking for 18 hours straight. And hey, that's an ambitious goal. I know some people will never seek to do that in their life, but I find that by having big goals and stretching to reach for them, there is a great value in being able to accomplish those. So I set out to get a book published in 3 days. And I also wanted there to be an example of what's possible, to challenge the common belief and idea that writing a book has to be this slow, arduous, painful process, but there's actually a way to get it done faster. And one of the big takeaways that I got, one of these big breakthroughs I had as far as my book publishing journey was, I was in a mastermind with Kiana Danielle, and I had the opportunity to have lunch with her and some friends. And Kiana Danielle is she's a founder of Invest Diva. She helps people with investing and finance, and she's a multiple best-selling author, and she's often seen on national television where she is talking about her books, talking about her expertise, and she is all over the place in her visibility and the people she's reached, and you can see the different books that she's published. So now I have an opportunity to have lunch with her, right? And as I'm having lunch with her, I asked her this question, and I said, hey, when you've got a bunch of books that you've published, how is it that you have, how much time do you spend in marketing, like writing the book versus marketing the book? And mind you, at this time, I've been seeking to write a book for like 8 months. It's been taking me maybe about 8 months to get where I am, and I'm still working on a manuscript with no quite finish line in sight, not sure what to do next. And as I'm talking to her, I was asking like, okay, so you've got these books. I remember I got a copy of your book when you were speaking at Funnel Hacking Live, and I was just hoping for something that could help challenge my mentality. And she just without hesitation, she replied, oh, I take 2 days to write my book, then spend the next 12 years in marketing the book that I wrote. And that was when it hit me. I was like, wow, I'm spending way too much time in writing the book. And a lot of times I find that the trap that many authors face is taking way too long to write the book, and realizing that one of the biggest mistakes that like health educators or health authors make is thinking that if you is not knowing what business you're in. If you're in the if you have a business where you write books and you sell speaking or coaching, and the mistake is to think that you're in the book writing business. But you're not in the book writing business. You're in the health book marketing business, because it's not the book that is going to do all the sales. It is the marketing of the book that's going to impact the people's lives. Just having the book is one thing, but it's the marketing behind the book that builds a business, that impacts a life, that creates the legacy. And so she really challenged me and was like, Enoch, she didn't say it in these words, but this is what I thought of. She's like, Enoch, you're taking too long. What if you do it faster instead? Because the vast majority of the value of impacting people's lives is not just in the book, but it's in getting the book into the hands of the people who it can impact. So that really struck a chord in me, because how many of you can relate to taking just longer than you would like for publishing a book? Maybe you've been working on a manuscript. Say yes in the comments below if you've been writing a book, or you've desired to have a book for maybe years, or maybe it's been something that's been on your mind, or you know that, oh, this would be really good for my business. I have a story that I know people can share. I have some health experiences or ideas that can really make a difference in people's lives. Let's say, how about a yes in the chat if you can relate that it's been taking maybe a little longer than you would like. And so shortly after that conversation with her, what I did is I changed my book topic, and I challenged myself to find more creative and innovative ways. And you know what happened? We got to #1 bestseller in business consulting on a new topic. And that's my book, I Want to Mentor Now, What Do I Do? And so we were able to get to #1 bestseller on Amazon shortly after that, and then people started to grab my book, buy the book, and people were so interested in what we were doing, and people, I've been able to impact people's lives, and there's people are like fighting over the book. You see, my friend had that idea to take that photo. I'm like, oh, that's so good. I like that. Don't you like that photo? But anyways, the people were they were loving the book. And it was getting me speaking engagements. It was getting me new leads, new customers. It was helping to build the business. It was helping to impact people's lives in ways that just videos were not. And books is just amazing, because a video is soon forgotten, but a book remains. And there's a lot of, I find that a lot of mainstream publishing advice is just broken. It's just off, to be honest. There's a lot of misunderstandings out there and myths. Like, one of them, recently I heard a publisher who was telling their authors, you won't know your book counts until about 6 months into writing. And I was like, 6 months into writing the book, and you don't even know how long your book is going to be? And I was just like, this is intense. And I realized that you don't have to wait that long to have any vision of what your book's going to be about. I find that one of the habits of highly effective authors is they begin with the end in mind. You can actually know how long your book is going to be. It doesn't have to be a huge, long encyclopedia or a large novel. It could be even a short book that's concise, to the point, and is able to impact people's lives. There's been short books that have transformed the world. And like 6 months to take to write a book, I think, is completely unnecessary. And there were some people who are like, yeah, I want to take a long time doing it. And that's fine. But there's other people like me, maybe like you, who is like, I want to write a book, but the time it takes is kind of daunting. And I'd rather not take 6 months to a year or 8 months in a long time. And if there's a way to be able to publish a book faster, I'd rather do that. Other advice is people will say that you need a publisher in order to write a book. Like, in order to be successful, you need a traditional publisher. And that's just not true, because there's a lot of there's a lot of tools now today for self-published authors, and this is a route that I'm tired of seeing publishers taking advantage of the health authors who have such a powerful message, but the publishers want you to think that writing the book is way too complicated and so difficult, and marketing the book is beyond your ability or scope, and that the only way for you to be successful is through investing in a program. But that's not really the case. There's so much resources for self-publishing with the right guidance to be able to get your book and launch your book to bestseller and beyond. Other common beliefs is that only experienced writers can publish a book. Some people have a health message, but they don't even think to publish a book because they're like, ooh, I'm not a writer. I don't see myself as a writer, or I'm not as experienced. It's not my methodology. And for me, I see myself more as a speaker than I do as a writer. I personally do not like writing very much. I like speaking. And one of the biggest breakthroughs that I got is that you don't have to write your book. You can speak your book. You can speak your book, and by being able to use your voice, you can publish your book faster than if you're writing. Even if you are an experienced writer and you like to write, learning to speak your book first and then edit the transcript, that is a profound way to get your book done fast, not slow. Other common myths is just that the book is going to sell itself. Like, oh, you're going to write this. This book is so great, it's just going to fly off the shelves. But the reality is, vast majority of books in Barnes & Noble have never sold more than 1,000 copies. And it is rare for people to actually get their book to bestseller. That's not a very common feat to do. And no, the book is not going to sell itself. The book, in order to get your book to bestseller, you need a strategy. You need something that is going to be a system that is able to consistently sell books and get your books into the hands of your ideal buyers. Another broken advice is that, writing a book is hard and it takes a long time. And what's amazing is everything seems hard and complex when you don't really know about it or don't really have a process to follow. And to be honest, there's 3 different ways you could write a book. Number 1 is you could write a book through guesswork, and that's just trying to figure it all out and do trial and error and just totally throw some spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks. And you could have guesswork, which is expensive, or you can have hard work, which is all learning from trial and error and doing it your own way. And you could spend all your time in hard work, or you could follow a framework. And a framework is able to help speed up the process, where it could take complex things and make them simple. It can show you how you can get a book done faster rather than taking months and years, or even some people wait decades to finally get the book that is in them out to the masses. And I realize that this advice is just no longer relevant. It's not the case anymore. Maybe some of this stuff was in the past, but that's the old way of writing a book. The new way is being able to follow a framework. You don't need traditional publishing. Being self-published is very powerful. And there's ways that you could publish a book so much faster. And learning the marketing, that's going to help get your book beyond. And I find that there's also what would a book do for you? If you've ever thought, I see that almost every reason to write a book can fit under maybe one of 3 categories. And some of these are the things that my book has been able to do for me, but why would you want to write a book? Some of you might be interested in impact. So you are looking to impact people's lives. You've got a passion. You've got something you're excited about. Maybe you want to share your story of transformation. Maybe you want to be able to express your creativity and share that with people. Another is recognizing that as a health educator, if you've got a health message, your health message can literally save lives. And your book is able to go and impact people's lives that you personally, one-on-one, can't really do on your coaching or face-to-face in your retreats. But the ability to impact at scale is so incredible with a book that you don't really get in other medium of communication. Another is through influence. Increase your influence. That could be building an authority, becoming an authority and establishing yourself as an authority in a niche. It's very interesting because what's the root word of authority? if you want to develop credibility and showcase your expertise, the root word of authority is author, right? And why is that? Because when you publish a book, you are automatically perceived as being an authority figure because you are an author. And the media loves to have experts and authorities to speak on subjects that they're credible on or that they have insights on. And just by being able to grab your thoughts and to express your ideas in a structured way as a book, to be able to have that much to say on a subject, the marketplace automatically perceives value and sees that, wow, that's something that that I want to listen to. This person has something to say. So it's really powerful to be able to strengthen relationships with people. I know when I go to events and people buy my books, many times they'll read through my books and then they want to know more about my coaching. They want to know how could I speak to their audience about the principles I've shared. It's opened up many opportunities to speak at podcasts. I know my book has landed me speaking engagements to podcasts with over 142,000 downloads and listeners. Just having a book instantly makes it to where the media and these show hosts or these platform owners who have audiences of your dream customers, they are often looking for authors. They love interviewing people who have a book. So it can increase your influence, help you with your positioning in the marketplace. And then third is also your income. It can increase your income. You could profit from your book. There is, I know of few ways that are better for generating leads than being able to have a book. And in fact, a book is, I would say, better than a business card, because a business card, how many of you, when you go to a conference, you go to an event and everybody's giving you the business card and you leave with this stack of business cards, you're like, whoa, I'm going to look at these someday, right? And then what do? You put it in the shelf, you tuck it away, and you're like, I'm going to get to this. But rarely do people actually go back into the business cards. Or sometimes you get a business card, it's like, oh, thank you, I didn't ask for that. And then you throw it away. And you're just like, okay, it's easy to toss a business card. But when someone sells you, or when you buy, or when someone gives you a book, then they're like, oh, there is tangible value to this book. There's effort. There's like a society has a reverence for books in this culture. And there's wisdom and guidance and love and effort that's put into this. It's hard for someone to take a book and throw it in the trash. That's not likely to happen. And if anything, they're going to put it on the bookshelf and they could easily pull it back at any time and start reading through. And your book is better than a business card as an introduction of who you are, your story, your journey. And if you're looking to attract high-paying clients, then it's often affluent people. They spend their time reading. They spend their time looking through books, and they want to learn, and they're constantly developing and learning new skills. And so this is a great it's a great magnet to attract your ideal customers. And through the book, it helps you to pre-qualify some of your premium buyers too, because those who read your book and they're like, I don't like you, and I don't believe what you're saying, and they're just going to be like causing you issues in your customer service or on the sales calls, or they're just heckling, and they're curious but they're not serious. They're not going to get through a book. They're not going to read through it. They're going to actually filter themselves out. So a book actually provides for you better quality leads in your business when you are able to package your knowledge and expertise into a book, and then they resonate with you. And what's really amazing is the more time people spend with you, the more time they're learning from you, you're adding value to them, the more likely they are to buy from you. Frank Kern says it really well. He puts it this way, that the best way for you to help someone to know that you can actually help them is by actually helping them. And a book allows you to actually solve problems, help them in such a powerful way that you may not otherwise get in other modalities. So a book can be a huge foundation for your business, for increasing not only a passive income stream, but generating more leads, and to be able to promote anything else that you want to teach and share. Where if you come, it's so interesting when you come with like sales brochures and these flyers and you come as a salesperson. Dan Kennedy talks about how you're the annoying guest, but you're the annoying pest, and where a book will help you to go from being the annoying pest to a welcomed guest, because now you're an authority. Now you're an author. Now you are a credible person of value that has something to say. And where they would want that annoying pest to go away and be rejected as a salesperson, you be accepted as an author. And even if you have a sales message or impact, or you talk about your business and how you help people in different examples, now you're a welcomed guest. And they're ready to accept the value and showcase how you could really support them in a really profound way that creates a win-win for your business and for their health. So there's so many powerful things that happens when I publish my book, when you could publish your book, and a lot of health experts have been able to do that. So let me ask you, who's ready to publish a best-selling book? If you're ready to publish a best-selling book, then I invite you to text me. I'm going to put this number on the screen. That's 424-243-6624. If you're listening to this, it resonates, you're like, wow, this is powerful, I want this, I like this, then just text the word best-selling to this number, and I'd be happy to talk to you about what this journey could look like for you to publish a book. What are the frameworks that I've followed in order to help go from ideas to income in the shortest time possible? And if you're interested, you could also go to enochleffingwell.com/bestselling, and you can find out more information. But like here's another example. Not only has it helped me in growing my business, but also let's look at Joe Cross. How many of you have seen the documentary Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead? Put a chat in. Put a I have in the chat if you've seen the documentary Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. If you haven't, I'd recommend it. It's powerful. It's about juicing. It's a health. Documentary of this man who was like me when I was 12, fat, sick, and nearly dead. And he had a health crisis, and something needed to change. So he wrote a book about his journey, and this book landed him it landed him a best-selling documentary, and where he was able to turn that book into a documentary that was able to go far and wide and impact the lives of hundreds of thousands, if not more, people's lives. And also, you see, the second thing that it does is he was able to get paid big money to speak on stages, to talk about his advice, to talk about his expertise. And this book helped him to become a high in-demand health authority. He is highly regarded, highly desired, and people are inviting him to speak and show up at different places. There was a time where he put out a tweet, I believe it was like in Times Square, and he got an entire audience of people who just flocked to go meet him in person from like one simple tweet. And that's like, and it's all started from this book. Not only that, this book has helped him to develop coaching programs, and where he's now coaching people in their health, and he's also made millions of dollars of affiliate revenue. Because get this, part of his journey is eating more plants and eating more food from the hand of God. And as he's been eating more food that was designed for us, he started losing weight. His health started to improve. And then what does that lend to? If you're going to drink more juice, then, well, now you need a juicer that created follow-up problems that didn't exist before. So now he's able to be an affiliate for juicers. Now it could be an affiliate for other similar products. He's made millions, a multi-million-dollar business in this health and wellness space to be able to impact people's lives. And the powerful thing, it all started from his book. And so how many of you would like your book to do any of this for you? Maybe you would like a book to turn into millions in revenue, or maybe you'd like a book to open up speaking engagements for you. Maybe you would like a book to help you go from overlooked to overbooked so that you would be a high in-demand speaker or trainer. Or how many of you, just comment yes in the chat below if the story of Joe really resonates with you or inspires you as an example of what's possible. And I was looking at some statistics, and something that really hit me is that according to a study conducted by New York Times, there's about 81% of Americans feel like they have a book in them and that they should write it. They feel compelled. They got a dream to write a book, about 81% in America. But according to another study, in the book industry study group, only about 2% of Americans have actually published a book. You know what that means? That means there's 79% of people will go to their graves having never published in their lifetime. Do you want to be that 79% who feel like they have a book in them, but they never publish it? Or do you want to publish a book and get your message out there and finally really impact the people's lives that you believe that you're capable of? And I'm curious, maybe if there's 81% of people feel like they got a book in them and they'd like to publish, that means they got book ideas. And I love hearing what are the ideas that you have for your book. Let me know in the comments, what is your book idea? Comment below. Like I want to teach people how to get out of back pain, or I want to share my story of overcoming fibromyalgia, or I want to help people to improve their bone health, or tell me what is your story of the book that you desire, that you think this book, this message, this story, this methodology needs to be told, needs to be packaged in a way that people can receive it and where society loves books. Comment below. I'd love to hear from you what your idea is. And I want you to really think about this. If all that publishing a best-selling book would do for you was to finally be able to help you to get your message out to the world who's been dying to know, then would it be worth it? Would it be worth it if all it did for you was to help you to establish yourself as a health expert in the health field, in your area of choice? Would it be worth it to finally get this book from your mind into their mailboxes? And if all this did for you was to finally get your health business off the ground or onto the next level that you've been looking for, would it be worth it? It's because I believe each one of these things are true and can be possible for you. And what I realize is there is 6 phases of writing a bestseller. And I was sharing how I wrote the book in 4 days. There's these few steps that I went through, and as the first one is to plan your book. You want to plan your book. This is where you're able to turn your mindsets, your skill sets into an income-producing asset. To be able to organize your mind and see what is the intention of your book. How can you write a book that you know is going to get to bestseller? How do you qualify your book ideas so that it actually reaches the people you're called to do? And not only is this part of the process, what I did is as I was publishing my book and in 4 days, I documented the process. I recorded not only for some of my students who have paid me $10,000 to work with them, I've been showing them step by step how they could publish their health book and get that done much faster than on their own. So I've been, as I was publishing my book in 4 days, not only me publishing, but also creating a boot camp to help to help others to be able to publish their book. Because a lot of people are asking me, it's like, how do I publish a book? How do I get it to bestseller? Maybe I have a book and I want it to get it to bestseller. Maybe I have a manuscript. I've been stuck on this. What do I do? How do I get my book finished and done and in the hands of the people I'm called to serve? And I've been listening to all these people reaching out. So I put together what I'm calling a best-selling book boot camp. And in this boot camp, I'm going to show you these 6 phases of writing a bestseller. So the first phase is to plan your book. The second phase is to package your book. This is where I'm going to show you the simple cure for writer's block that works every single time. Instead of taking 6 months to write your book, you're going to have this flow of understanding and knowledge and simplify the book creation so that it's able to impact people's lives, increase your income and your influence, so that this book is able to accomplish the goals that you have strategically. So we're going to package your book. And then the third is now it's time to publish your book. And I'll help you to avoid the traps that leave health authors with massive editing and proofreading, time wasters, and money costs. One of the reasons why people take so long in writing the book is because there are these traps that people are not aware of. They don't know to look out for. And when you are able to follow the framework, it could show you what are the traps to avoid that are going to cost a fortune for trying to get your book or they're going to take a whole bunch of time and prolong the journey way longer than it needs to be. Because if you're watching up to now, then you probably are interested in impacting people's lives like today, right? You don't want to wait for 5 years or 10 years, or just think about how long it's taken you already that you've had a book idea. Maybe you've desired to write a book, or maybe you've been working on a book. How long have you wanted to have a book but haven't done it yet? Do you want to wait that long again? So let's get it done fast. So then this is what helps you to publish your book, and then, to polish your book. And the fourth step is to publish your book. Now we get to, I'm going to show you some hassle-free global book distribution secrets that will help you to automate your printing, automate your shipping, your fulfillments, so without any inventory. And this process is easy. It's not hard, but publishers want to make it feel like it's hard so that you've got to work with them. But you can do this, and as long as you have the right guidance. So now, when in phase 4, congratulations, we got your book published, and we were able to get to phase 4 in 4 days, and it's really a unique 4-day book publishing method that we have. And then now that you got the book, the next step is step 5, to promote your book. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 secrets to our unique bestseller launch strategy to guarantee that your book hits number 1 on Amazon and beyond. And that's the real reality is, just because you write the book doesn't mean it's going to sell itself. You want to have a strategy for getting to bestseller. You want to have the guidance, the accountability. You want to have the support. Sometimes people will make it so complicated and confusing to not know what to do. But what we do is we simplify the process. And I know that so many people are asking me, what have I done to get my book to bestseller? What am I doing now? I'm going to get my latest book to bestseller. That's what I'm doing right now as we speak. We're going to bestseller, and my best-selling launch date is Tuesday today. So in 2 days, Thursday, leap year, February 29th is the day that we're going to get to bestseller. And I'm excited about it. And I know I'm confident. I could say that I'm confident for this ability because there's a system. And the thing about a system is that it repeats. And it's like you can have rinse and repeat results. It's automatic. It's consistent. It happens every time. If that happened once, okay, maybe that's a guess. It happened twice, it's like, whoa, there's something to this. A third and fourth time, it becomes easier, and you realize, oh, there's following a framework. There's a framework to produce these results. And so, and I boiled it down, there's really these 7 secrets or 7 simple steps that gets to bestseller and beyond. And then 6, the final step, is to profit from your book. And I'm going to be sharing how wealthy authors turn one book into a lifetime income, where it's not just to publish a book and get to bestseller, but how do you now turn that book into a business that's able to generate you more leads, that's able to attract more high-paying clients, that's able to get you relationships with influencers and industry leaders in your field? How can you turn that one book into multiple different programs and products and sources of income that's able to generate income for you for the rest of your life? Because when you have these income producing assets, they're able to generate wealth for you. And that's the difference between most authors and wealthy authors. Is wealthy authors have a system and a method for being able to monetize from their book and to really turn that book into a full-fledged business. And so those are the 6 phases of the best-selling book boot camp. And right now we are on phase 5, and we've been digging deep with our students, and I'm getting to bestseller. I'm documenting the process. I know that people have been asking and wondering. I didn't document the process when I did it before, so now I'm putting this together, making it available for people as they're interested. What I recommend is, if you've listened this far and you'd like to get your book to bestseller, if you want to know how you can publish a best-selling book, then I encourage you, again, just comment bestseller below in the chat, or best-selling, comment best-selling in the chat, or text a number on the screen, and I'd love to talk with you. I'll send you more information, how you can see what we could do to help you to get your ideas from your mind into the mailboxes of those who you've called to serve. And if you want to make it easy, if you want to make it fast, then we got the Best-Selling Bootcamp that is designed to give you the bootcamp to jumpstart your publishing business and help you to get to bestseller and beyond, guaranteed. And I really look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for listening. And this has been some of my journey of how I published a book in 4 days and how you can too. Have a great day, friends. And remember that God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called.